Good morning, MBC team. Welcome back to a short week here on the other side of President's Day weekend. I hope you had a restful 3-day weekend and are coming back rejuvenated in some way, shape, or form. This morning, I want to share from the book of Proverbs. This is chapter 4, and it's verses 20 through 27. This is a place where Solomon is writing to his son words of wisdom from a father, and actually reflecting about those words in this section where he writes, "My son, be attentive to my words. Incline your ear to my sayings. Let them not escape from your sight. Keep them within your heart, for they are life to those who find them and healing to all their flesh. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flow the springs of life. Put away from you crooked speech and put devious talk far from you. Let your eyes look directly forward and your gaze be straight before you. Ponder the path of your feet, then all your ways will be sure. Do not swerve to the right or to the left. Turn your foot away from evil." And that passage came to mind this week when I thought about really wanting to share with you a little of my own Paraclete experience so far. Those of you that were able to join us for that employee meeting a few weeks back, we talked about a new partnership Monte Vista is launching with Paraclete, which is a soul care group that offers folks available to us, to you, to me, to reach out to on a regular basis for soul care, not life coaching and planning for the future, not licensed therapy, dealing with things that have happened to us in the past, but here and now, in the moment, care for our souls. And the tie between this passage and my own Paraclete experience is, to be honest, overcoming some of my own hesitations. Even though I was part of the decision-making process to launch this partnership, when push came to shove, there were parts of me that held back a little bit. And so the verses that tie to some of that for me was the portion where Solomon writes about his words to his son, and he refers to them saying they are life to those who find them and healing to all their flesh. And for me, that biblical truth that words are not just words per se, that taking the time to step away and to have a conversation and to reflect and to interact with another human just verbally on the phone or via Zoom, the fact that those words are meaningful, even so much as that they could be life and that they could literally be healing for us. That was really encouraging for me as I thought about carving out the space and taking the time to start a Paraclete connection. The other portion that connected for me was the very next verse where he writes, "Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flow the springs of life." And that also underscored for me just the importance of taking the time to guard and to shore up and to tend to my own personal heart, to my own personal soul, perhaps, and realizing that from that place flows everything else. And any time that you or I take and set aside to be purposefully attentive to caring for our soul, to caring for our heart, that is time well spent and energy well invested, because it really is the place from which everything else flows. So that's what I leave you with this week. For those of you that have tried Paraclete and whether it's been maybe a little awkward or clunky to start with, I want to encourage you to keep an open mind and to go back a time or two more. Those of you that haven't tried it yet, I know it's hard to carve out even that 15 minutes or 20 minutes, but I encourage you to give it a try. I can relate to the hesitance that you might be feeling, but I just want to encourage you that the more we can do to tend to our hearts and our souls, and the more that we can make space for words that truly can be life-giving and healing, I believe God can and will do a work in us as individuals and as a community. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great week.